Peter Lynch is well known for his books, One Up on Wall Street, Learn to Earn, and Beating the Street. Most famously, his book One Up on Wall Street stands out, and more specifically, it's the idea that you should invest in what you know. The logic is simple. If you invest in what you know, you'll have more confidence and understanding in why you bought the stocks that you did. There are very good ways to start looking for stocks using what you know. The first of which is to look for stocks while working at your job. Whether you're a construction worker, a nurse, a teacher, a chemist, a retail worker, or so on, there are plenty of ways to use what you know to see what's working and what isn't. Number 2 is to look for stocks during your hobbies or your leisure, whether it's games, shows, sports, vacations, and so on. And number 3 is to look for stocks on staples or services that you couldn't live without, or ones that you feel like you couldn't live without. Things such as the rent or the mortgage, food, diapers, internet, phone, medicine, insurance, and so on. Let's just take for example that you're a nurse. What are some things that you would have more knowledge of as a nurse than a fund manager or a regular person who is not a nurse? There is so much that you know about the hospital. For example, which medicines are people getting compared to other options? What insurance is constantly being used? Let's say an elderly man strolls in and has a sore back. After some discussions and evaluations, the doctor prescribes some medicine and some physical therapy for his back pain. The elderly man then leaves and uses his insurance to cover a large part of the bill. However, you're a nurse, so it's not like you only see one elderly man with back pain. In fact, you see situations like this lots of times. In almost every case, you notice that the medicine and physical therapy is what's recommended, and the insurance is what's being used to pay for it. And you notice across all the cases that almost all the time, it's the same physical therapy location, the same medicine, and the same insurance. As a nurse, you are aware of what types of medicine and what company makes that medicine. There might be 5 choices of pain relief medicine, but for the elderly crowd with back pain, it's routinely the same choice being given to them. So you decide to look into this further, because after all, it's the doctor's choice that keeps getting recommended. What you find is that your hospital isn't the only one choosing this medicine over others, and in fact, basically every other hospital is using the same choice. So now, with your advanced knowledge of medicine choices, due to being a nurse, you decide to look into the company which is supplying this medicine. And as it turns out, this is a small biotech company that hasn't really made a name for itself yet on Wall Street. Analysts are really unsure if their product is going to be able to compete against the other companies. But you, as a nurse, who knows that this stuff is everywhere and that is the preferred choice, do not have that uncertainty. Looking further, you see that the company doesn't have a lot of debt and that it's a low valuation because analysts are questioning if their products will sell. This seems like a real opportunity. And this is just one example of people using what they know to have an advantage over Wall Street. It's up to the nurse, after seeing that the product is very popular and that it's constantly getting reordered, that they see the debt levels, the current valuations, and then make a determination of whether or not the company's stock is a good choice. It's in this way that our nurse is able to have an edge over the institutional investors. Sadly, most people do not use their advanced knowledge to pick stocks. They are under the impression that they don't know more than the people on Wall Street, and their potential for picking out quality companies at a discounted price may never happen. And that's what Peter Lynch in One Up on Wall Street really wants to bring home to people. It's that you do have an advantage over Wall Street in knowing your specific fields and information that they wouldn't know. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe and hit the like button if you enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next episode.